Peddi is a rural sports drama starring Ram Charan and Janhavi Kapoor, directed by Butchi Babu Sinha. The movie is set around a neglected village community whose biggest dream is to gain recognition and basic infrastructure, especially a railway station. Sports become the weapon through which they fight for their identity. Set in 1980s rural Andhra Pradesh, the story follows Peddi, a spirited villager who brings his community together through sports to protect their pride and stand against a powerful rival. The film blends sports, action, village politics, and emotional drama. Ram Charan plays Peddi Pahelwan, a rugged village athlete involved in both wrestling and cricket. Unlike a polished professional sportsman, Peddi is portrayed as a raw, determined rural hero whose leadership inspires his people. Main cast: Ram Charan as Peddi Pahelwan, Janhavi Kapoor as Akiyama, Shiva Rajkumar, Jagpati Babu, Devyendu as Ram Buji. Imagine a village that has been ignored for decades. No railway station, no recognition, no importance on the map. Now imagine one man deciding to fight the entire system. Not with politics, not with money, but through sports. This is the story of Peddi, starring Ram Charan. Today I'll explain the complete movie story, including the ending, major twists, and what Peddi's final victory really means. So sit back and let's begin. The story begins in a remote village that has been neglected for years. Government officials rarely visit. Basic facilities are missing. The biggest dream of the villagers is simple. They want a railway station. Not a mall, not a stadium, just a railway station so their village can finally connect with the rest of the country. Here we meet Peddi. Peddi is strong, fearless, and respected by everyone. Whenever someone in the village faces trouble, Peddi is the first person to help. But Peddi isn't interested in politics. He believes actions speak louder than words. People see him as an ordinary villager. What nobody knows is that he has extraordinary talent. While living his simple village life, Peddi meets Akiyama. Akiyama is beautiful, confident, and unlike most people in the village, she isn't afraid to challenge Peddi. Their relationship starts with arguments. Every time they meet, sparks fly. Slowly, these arguments turn into friendship, and friendship turns into love. The movie spends a good amount of time showing their romance. There are songs, fun moments, and emotional scenes that help establish the relationship between the two characters. For Peddi, Akiyama becomes his biggest emotional support. She is one of the few people who truly understands him. Meanwhile, the village continues struggling with neglect and injustice. One day, the villagers once again approach authorities asking for a railway station. But nobody takes them seriously. For politicians, the village is insignificant. This humiliation deeply affects Peddi. He realizes something important. The village can keep requesting help forever, or they can do something so extraordinary that the entire country notices them. This thought changes everything. Peddi decides that sports can become their weapon. If the village gains national attention through sports, people will finally listen. And that's when the Real story begins. The movie reveals that Peddi is not just a strong villager. He's an exceptional athlete. The film showcases his abilities in sports competitions and wrestling-style contests. People are shocked by his natural talent. Soon, local competitions become regional competitions. Regional competitions become state-level events. Wherever Peddi goes, he wins. His confidence inspires the village youth. Many young people begin training alongside him. For the first time, the villagers start believing that their dream might actually come true. But success creates enemies, and Peddi's growing popularity attracts powerful opponents. The film introduces powerful people who don't want Peddi to succeed. Some fear losing influence. Others simply cannot tolerate seeing a poor village receive attention. These enemies begin creating obstacles. They try intimidation. They try manipulation. They even attempt violence. But Peddi refuses to back down. Every challenge only makes him stronger. As his fame grows, media attention slowly begins focusing on him. For the first time, people outside the village start asking, who is this man? And more importantly, which village does he come from? That question alone is already helping Peddi achieve his goal. Just when everything seems perfect, disaster strikes. Peddi suffers a serious injury. The injury threatens his entire future as an athlete. Doctors doubt he can return to competition. His enemies celebrate. The villagers lose hope. Even Peddi starts questioning whether his dream is over. This becomes the emotional low point of the movie. The man who inspired everyone suddenly feels helpless. For a brief moment, it looks like the story might end in failure. But champions don't quit. Peddi begins a painful recovery journey. Every day becomes a battle. Training sessions are difficult. His body is weak. His confidence is shaken. But he remembers why he started. This isn't about medals anymore. This isn't about fame. This is about giving a forgotten village a future. That purpose gives him strength. Slowly he recovers. Slowly he regains his form. And eventually he returns to competition. The villagers welcome him like a hero. The comeback scenes are among the most emotional moments in the film. The story now reaches its biggest sporting event. Everything depends on this moment. If Peddi wins, national attention is guaranteed. If he loses, years of effort could be wasted. The final competition is intense. The crowd is enormous. Pressure is at its highest. Peddi is still carrying pain from his injury. But mentally, he has never been stronger. His opponents underestimate his determination. Every move becomes a battle. Every point feels like a war. The entire village watches anxiously. Finally, after a dramatic struggle, Peddi wins. The stadium erupts. The crowd celebrates. The village's dream is finally within reach. After the victory, media coverage spreads across the country. People learn about the forgotten village. Government authorities can no longer ignore them. The village finally receives the attention it has been seeking for years. The railway station dream begins moving toward reality. But the movie's message is much deeper than that. Peddi was never fighting for personal glory. He wasn't trying to become famous. He was trying to give his people a voice. The ending shows that one determined person can change the fate of an entire community. Peddi's greatest achievement isn't winning a competition. His greatest achievement is proving that even the smallest village deserves recognition and respect. And that's where the movie ends. So that's the complete story of Peddi. Did you like the ending? Do you think Peddi's journey was more about sports or about social change? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this full movie explanation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more movie stories in simple language. Please watch movie in the near theaters. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.